Hello, Keith Keller, Melbourne, Australia, and I think I have a way to live stream to Substack. I'm just doing an experiment now. I think it's going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'll do a quick little video to explain what I'm trying to do here, and then I'll play a bit of music and I'll see if I can get some of my buddies to come in. And if not, that's okay. I just want to do this test. As you know, I use the Zoom P4. I love it. We talk a lot about tech on this show, and I use the Samson 2QU microphone. We probably won't talk much about that today, but we do talk a lot about how to make you sound better with what we call the proximity effect. If you are listening just by chance and you do have any questions, please put those in the chat. This is just a very, very, very impromptu thing to see if it's working. And if you want to know more about what's coming up, it's at whereiskeithtoday.com. So I'm going to just play a little bit of music in the background and see whether or not this has indeed worked. I might play the new theme song for my new show, which is Repurpose 3030. It goes about a minute, so it'll give me a chance to try. But let me just see if I can find it. There it is. A 60-second theme song. I'll just play that and see if it'll work. And that might give me a bit of a chance to go and have a look and see. I'm doing everything myself, so I've got to work and see if this is actually working. I'll just go and play a little bit of music. Hang on. Now, from what I can tell, it's actually worked. I don't know for sure. I can't see the file. I can't see the file on LinkedIn, but it does appear to be on YouTube and on Substack. So I'm pretty excited about this. Although I don't know if anyone's there, that doesn't matter so much. I can't really see where it is. There's a lot going on here. I'm trying to actually work this out. And so I'm trying to work out exactly what's going on. It doesn't really matter. I'll probably delete this, so it probably sounds a bit silly, but it's pretty interesting. Mike, if you're there, I am actually trying this, and I'll send you a link in a minute. My brain is exploding trying to work out what's going on. So it's not working. It's not working on LinkedIn for some reason, and this is a very, very good reason why we should have a backup. But it's working on YouTube, and it appears to be working on Substack. So let me know if that's the case. This is almost impossible to do on your own. Like, there's just no way I can do this on my own. So please don't send me any comments, because I'm not going to be able to see them. Yeah, look, it appears to be working. It appears to be working on Substack. So what I'll do is, I've got the live chat opened. Hello, Americo. Jump in, make some comments. I've got it working on Substack and YouTube, but for some reason it's not working on LinkedIn. This is such a fascinating experiment, because LinkedIn should work, but doesn't, for no explainable reason. There's no reason why it shouldn't work. I can't work it out. But I got it working on Substack, and I got it working on YouTube. So we have liftoff. So if you want to, I'll just send the file to some people if they want to go and have a listen to this, or to come in and talk about it. It's extremely difficult to do on your own, and we definitely have to work together as a team on this if we do this. But it is working. So what's happening now is, I'm here in the Restream studio. I can see that I'm here experimenting with what's going on, and I know exactly how Restream works, so that's fine. I've played a little bit of music, and I can get the file up on YouTube, but it doesn't appear to be working on LinkedIn. Now, there's no reason why it shouldn't. Maybe it's a time lag. Maybe it just doesn't work sometimes, but it should work, but it didn't. So if you want to come and have a chat to me about that, that's cool. If not, that's okay too. Or what I'll do is, I'll play that theme song again, just to get my head around how this is going. I've got a 7-second version too. I'll play the 7-second version. Hey, Mike, I got it working. How you doing?
I see. I'm actually on Substack, watching you on Substack, but you can't see the comments.
Well, I've worked out a way to see. Yes, dropping the how-to video shortly. Awesome. Americo joined. So if I was to do this, this would be very difficult. It doesn't come up on Restream, but I can go directly to Substack, and I'll take a screenshot of this. There's a bit of a time lag between what I see and what you see, but that's okay. Let me just see if I can if I can mute it so that I can play it in real time. It's very interesting. Like, I might even delete this file, but the point is that I got it working. I just tried today to see whether or not it wasn't working yesterday. So I've been hounding them to get me to get this feature going, and they probably overnight succumb to my pestilence. But I actually, I'm pretty excited. Like, I got it working on Restream, obviously, and I got it on YouTube, and I've got it on Substack. But for some reason, and this happens, this is a very good reason to do this. There's no reason why it shouldn't work on LinkedIn. It's just not working. Just didn't connect. Right now, imagine if you had a really big show planned and it didn't connect. Well, what happens then? America, we're proving our own point, aren't we?
Absolutely. This is one of the exact reasons why you want to have either a backup plan or a contingency plan of some sort.
Yeah. So what I was able to do, and we are indeed going to do a how-to video on how to do this. You simply go to Substack and you start a new file, a new post, and you'll get a symbol that say create live video. Right? And if you don't have it, you don't have it. But if you do have it, you can do it. And you can create a new live video. And so with that, you get a stream key. It's incredibly complex to describe. And then you punch that stream key into Restream, and then it magically connects. Maybe not so magically, but it's pretty cool. Like, I'm very excited. I'm very, very, very excited. We've got it working. So what do you see there, Mike, on Substack? What do you see as a sort of a consumer?
I had mentioned, I think last night, the minute that you go live, because I'm subscribed, it pops up that says Keith Keller is live on the left right-hand side. And then when I click on that, it gives me that, the full page with your overlay here, and then there's a chat on the right.
Oh, this is astonishing. Now, there's a couple of things going on here for the people that are watching, and I'll do some form. Now that I'm doing Substack, it'll probably create those little mini videos. I'm very excited about that. It'll create these little mini videos for me. But for the people that are watching, we can now we're watching it on. We're doing this on YouTube and Substack, not on LinkedIn, and it's a very good reason to have a backup, because there's no reason that LinkedIn couldn't have worked. I'm doing I'll do some shows next week, and I've got a very big show planned, a very big series of shows. Imagine America. I spend a month promoting this show and it doesn't stick. It doesn't work. I mean, how annoying would that be?
Yeah, that would be frustrating. Now, I don't know what you have up on your screen, or how many screens you have on the go. Our friend Amolia has joined the Substack feed, and she says, "Hello, Keith. I'm tuning in from Substack."
There it is. So, hello. Now, this is very important. This is extremely important. LinkedIn, I can say this because I'm not on LinkedIn. I can say whatever I want, and they can't stop me. LinkedIn does not tell your listeners, your viewers, that you're on. There's no, if they do, it's a very poor system. Whereas Amolia and Mike got a notification and they thought, oh, well, I'm doing nothing, I'll go in. So Amolia, I'll send you the link to this if you want to come and have a chat. We are making this up as we go. Like, we don't know what we're doing. I'm just being completely honest. But someone's got to go first. Someone's got to work this out. And as we often say, America, you got to be prepared to suck. You got to have the courage to say, look, I don't know what I don't know.
Absolutely.
And I'm just going to go and have a go, And so, Amoli, if you want to come in and tell us, I know we're all desperately trying to work out Substack. The thing that's very interesting about Substack, if just separate to the whole LinkedIn process, is that they have 50 million creators, 50 million accounts, right? And they have 70 million visitors a month. Now, this is a site that's going to go off, and we're getting in early-ish, 8 years on, but we're getting in early-ish. I've still got mates of mine who've been here for years, but I don't like to write. I don't like to read. So up until just 2 weeks ago, I had no reason to use Substack. I didn't have any reason, because I don't like reading and I don't like writing. So the things that Substack was famous for were no use to me. But now that they've invented this sort of this live streaming idea, we could run a whole community event here, mate. Tell us about how this community is going. Yesterday's event was a 20-minute test that went 2 hours. And it's had 150 views, and it's prompted you to create a whole society, a community. How's that going? You've got a really good system going for that, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I have so many projects on the go. I got the road trip going. I got this going. Now, I just love what's happening here. We found a platform that is built, purposeful, purposefully built to support creators. And it got me thinking. And there are people who are now starting to resonate with what we're doing. And they're reaching out and they're dropping comments in my feed and uh, other creators' feeds where I'm engaging. And they're starting to listen. They're starting to pay attention. Now, we know, just like with anything else, there's going to be early adopters who are just going to run with this. There are going to be those who will talk about manifesting this idea. And that's where I want to come in. I want to help those manifest their ideas of going live, whether it's just through their voice, whether it's on camera. There's an opportunity here. And I know our friend Amolia does similar work and provides similar value to her community. And if she joins, I'm excited to hear her thoughts and insights on what she's doing with Substack.
And I'll bring Amolia in. So, Amolia, this is live. This is an experiment that wasn't possible like 15 minutes ago. Like we are right on the cutting edge of the cutting edge. So very exciting, isn't it?
It is very exciting. I just launched my first Substack article yesterday, so I'm excited.
Well, tell us what you think this could become. I mean, you and I have both been doing this a long time, and LinkedIn has I can say this because this didn't work to LinkedIn. LinkedIn let us down, and we've had to make this up. And the LinkedIn live events, they haven't been that exceptional. You know, a lot of people have been complaining. So Substack has come in at exactly the right time and said, look, well, you can do it here. We'll help you. So what do you think might happen? What do you think you might what do with it?
I can definitely tell you guys that I've noticed the engagement is higher. So since I'm brand new, I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I noticed when I post my first article today, the engagement was so much higher than my actual following. And it just proved to me that Substack right now is like at its peak. You know how you have a new product to where, or a new platform to where before it's overly saturated, those that kind of get an early start, they kind of thrive a little better on it before it kind of the algorithm kind of get a little messy. That's what I feel like was kind of happening to LinkedIn. I don't know if you guys experience, but my engagement is lower, like you mentioned, my events. So I'm really curious to see the engagement in the community with Substack.
Well, the thing that's I've got a direct comparison. Like yesterday, this is exactly the same thing happened. Yesterday, I ran an event on LinkedIn, and I said, look, I can't use Substack yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an event on LinkedIn. I'm going to record that, and I'm going to embed manually the video into a Substack post. That's what I'm going to do manually. And I'm so sorry that this is a cumbersome process, but this is all I got. And 11 people saw that total experiment. 11 people, right? Which is okay. There's 11 people. But what happened was 111 people saw the Substack post about the show, right? So 111 people said, well, good on you, mate. Have a go. I'm very interested to see how this goes, and someone's got to go first. I'll follow you, and tell me how I can help. 111 people saw that post about a show, and the show got 11 views. 11. Very disappointing. And so we're noticing that there's only finite amounts of time in the day, and we gotta go where the people are. And if the people are on Substack, well, we got to hang out there because that's where people are. 50 million creators on Substack, 70 million visitors per month. And we're in early enough, not straight away. Did you, like me, Amolia, see Substack as a sort of a blogging platform that had no use for you? Have you heard of
Absolutely.
it before? Yeah.
So when I first started hearing Substack, I wasn't interested. And then as the community started talking more about it, I started exploring the resources. I was like, oh, this is for me. So I love the fact that you can do the audio voiceovers. So for those, I should say, for those that are new to me, I'm like everything audio. I love it. So right now, I actually keep canceled my Captivate hosting for my podcast, and they're actually saving money now because I'm going to actually do my podcast through Substack because I
Ah,
just saw that you can now stream it to Spotify and other places. So it's actually saving me money, and it's more beneficial because now I can do an article, voice over my podcasting. I kind of can have it in one place, but with the beauty of what we do, I can multi stream and still be on every different platform. I can still stream to Substack, YouTube, or even LinkedIn. But the beauty of it, I can still share my Substack and it gives me more content. It gives me more visibility. So I'm kind of tapping into different audiences. And of course, it's a paid subscription. So it's like you're making money for those that may want to be a part of it. And I thought about you, Keith, because even though if you decide not to do the paid subscription, it allowed pledges. So remember how you had it so where people can buy you coffees? Because I know you do your research for free, which why we love you. But it allows you to pledge to people if you actually enjoy their content. So I just love the whole structure of it.
it's an extremely good idea because for creators, and creators can be subjected to this, and sometimes this has happened to me. You know, when you're starting out, there's a lot of costs and not a lot of income. And sometimes that can get a bit overwhelming. But with Substack, this is the number one reason to use Substack. Substack is free. And when you make money, you give them 10%. I think that's extremely fair. They build this system for you. 50 million people are using it. Some of them are making money. And those people that are making money pay Substack 10%. We get 90%, they get 10%. But it costs us nothing until we make money. This is an extremely great idea for creators. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We have some new faces joining. Well, similar faces, not new faces. Our friend Lynn Lang has joined the Substack feed. Curtis has a question. I don't know if you caught that question. Keith, did you request live stream access? I know Curtis joined us yesterday, and the update yesterday was you didn't have it. He's curious. He understands you need 10 subscribers to get access, but did you have to request access?
Oh, you got no idea how many hoops I went through yesterday. I got through to support, which is a bot, a very well written bot. It says, "Oh, it looks like, unfortunately, Keith, that the live streaming is not available in this area." Did that answer your question? Yes or no? Can I go now? No. How can I get access? I'm sorry, Keith. It doesn't appear that the Substack process is available in your area. Does that solve your question? Can I go now? Yes or no? No. Tell me how I can get it. What do I need to do? Can I talk to a real person, please? And after about 10 minutes, I sort of gave up. And I said, well, look, I'll just have to wait. And then there was some lovely little nice message. That would be a reasonable solution. Can I go now? So, these bloody bots, I mean, they sort of sound like they're human, but they're not, because they don't answer your questions. But then magically, I got it today. So I put in about 10 or 15 minutes work. I pushed really hard, like I was really pushing, and here we are. I got in. I did it.
So I need to go ask the Substack bot. Let me go stalk it right now.
Yeah. I think I just Googled Substack support and to ask, how can I get access to the live streaming feature? And you'll go through this process of some pseudo human telling you can't do it. And you just push and push and push. Did this, and how they do those bullshit questions? Did this answer your question? How would you rate this service out of 5? Well, 1. Because I didn't get the answer I wanted, and I want to talk to a real person. Anyway, they're a big company, 50 million users. So obviously they're scaling. Hello, Curtis. Thanks so much for these comments. I can see them now. I'm just watching the Substack feed. This is what I'll probably do now because I don't get comments on I don't get any comments on YouTube. I'm just going to watch the Substack feed. There's 5 people live on the call. Like yesterday, we had 11 people in total. This is so much better, so much more funner.
Yeah, and this will grow as we schedule and raise awareness as to where we can be found and where people can tune in, and as our communities grow. I'm excited. I got two new subscribers from yesterday's test.
Yeah.
So
well, look, the
Hey,
most important
Keith?
thing. Yeah.
I just wanted, because you guys have been talking nonstop, I can't get over it. And I just wanted,
Yeah. Jump in.
I saw, no, because I love the passion, right? And I'm right there with you because I already have 4 publications on Substack.
Yeah. Tell us how
But-
you're using it. How can we help you? Tell us how you're using it.
Well, the first one is called Bespoke Musica. That's a business I'm kicking up to do event-based and jingle-based songs for people. So that's kicked off. I'm doing a poetry a poetry publication. So I'm going to start publishing some of my poetry, and then I have a security-based one, and I'm just forgetting the last one. But one of the things that's really impressed me, the last one's the Quirky Job Hunters Journal. The thing that's really impressed me is the ability, like, to send stuff automatically to LinkedIn. So as you're, moving, or if you're, like, I have a fair amount of stuff up on LinkedIn now. The problem is I can't kind of cross link. Well, maybe you can cross link a little bit, but I'm gonna start transitioning the stuff that I had on LinkedIn onto Substack. I have 2 newsletters up on LinkedIn. One's for the C-suite and one's for pretty much everyone else. And then, but the important thing is, then I can, click up over on YouTube. Oh, by the way, if you want to see article XYZ, just click on this, and there's an image of it, right? And then you just click on it, and it goes to your Substack article.
It is pretty good. Like, I mean, we were saying yesterday, and we can say this now because this is not going to LinkedIn and they'll never hear it, hopefully. LinkedIn doesn't care about creators. We actually took that a bit further, but that's a bit toxic. LinkedIn doesn't care about us creators, but Substack does. Substack cares about creators because their whole model is that when you make money, they make money. And if you don't make money, they don't make money. So it's embedded in the system that they want you to make money. They want you to succeed. They want you to be able to pay your mortgage and put petrol in your car and feed your kids so that you don't have to get a job pumping petrol or fixing coffees or doing whatever you're doing. You can, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people on Substack are doing this to feed their babies. That's exactly the phrase they're using. I'm writing daily to feed my babies.
Keith, I don't want to bash LinkedIn, but Substack is making it very easy to send to other platforms. So, and I think they're doing it on purpose so that you can be that Substack can be the hub, and then you have all these links to all these other platforms. And if you can, my only challenge is if there's going to be any issues like there was on LinkedIn with lives or whatever. And to your point, I think we've made this point yesterday or the day before. We really need to start thinking about plan Bs or resilience or what to do, because as a guest, as a audience member, I've been having issues with LinkedIn, and it's not necessarily from the host end, but I just lose. It goes away and it says there's been a problem or something, and it's happened quite often. It's very frustrating. And just to tell you, because I don't know if this happened to your audience member, Americo, or Amoya, but if it is, you could be losing audience members and not even know it. And I'm sorry, I have to agree with you, Keith. that they, unless you're like a super, have 10,000 or well, probably 100,000 followers, they're not going to really look at you, as far as these types of issues. And like I said, there's no way to easily go off of LinkedIn. They all do that LinkedIn message thing, and it makes it kind of clumsy to link from LinkedIn to.
It's a
to
totally
places.
different model, isn't it? Like they want you to
Yeah.
stay on LinkedIn, and there's a
Yeah.
billion people there, but Substack says, well, this is cool. You want to send tell this story, America. We did a show yesterday for fun, 20 minutes, went for 2 hours. You sent one little clip about my days in the radio school, and it's had 150 views overnight on a YouTube short. Tell that story. That's exactly what we want to be doing.
That is exactly what we want to do. So there were 4 shorts generated. One was pushed to YouTube, and instantly I woke up this morning with over 100 views. And that's exactly what we want. We talk about meeting our communities and our audience where they're at. And there are plenty of users. There's an abundance of people who consume content in short, bite-sized pieces. And Substack not only suggests it, you can have it automatic. You can have automation turned on so that it instantly pushes it to YouTube. And to Mike's point, you can push it to LinkedIn automatically. And the number of options you have that you can automate, I think you can push to Blue Sky. You can push to, I think, a few other platforms. Now, I don't spend as much time there, so it wasn't as relevant for me. But listen, it's offering things for free that other platforms are charging us for.
Yeah, this is one of the key ones, isn't it? That Amolia said that, for instance, we can now send our podcast to Spotify. Tell us about how that'll work. Have you tried it yet, Amolia? I'm very interested in that.
So I plan on trying it this week. I was going through and looking at the settings, and it does show for me. So if you go to like my article, I don't have a podcast yet, but you could see where it does give you the RSS, the Spotify, and things like that. So I will be back in the next test with you guys to give you that updated feedback. But I actually had a question for you guys. So, Miracle, you mentioned that Substack itself pushes to these different audiences. So that made me think. So you know how Restream, the free version, lets you stream to 2 accounts? Well, if you do the free version and stream to Substack, Substack could potentially stream to the other accounts for free for you, correct?
Well, it's pushing clips, so it can push the entire live to YouTube.
Okay.
But everywhere else, it's pushing short clips only.
Okay, I love that. I'm going to have to try that. I'm going to have to harass that bot so I can try this for myself. I need you guys with me so we can test this out on mine.
Hey, before that, and I know life gets in the way, but I'm going to take this opportunity to invite you. I want you as a guest on one of my shows. I know we talked about doing it the last time we were on, but let's find some time. Let's talk about what you're doing, and perhaps you'll
Can you
have
hear
this
me?
all sorted out. I can hear you. Did I lose you? Did we lose her?
I could hear her. Well,
Nope, we lost her.
okay.
I don't see her
We
muted.
lost
either.
Amolia.
Yeah.
Zakia's here. Because I've got the pro version, we can have actually up to 10 people now. So apologies, my internet is very, very patchy. But next week, I've got a guy coming to the house to do some magic. I might actually be able to join the real world. Hello, Zakia. We got it working. Isn't it exciting?
I was so excited to see that when you sent me the message, like, I got it working. That's so cool. I'm so happy for you. We've been talking about Substack in the background, and I've seen a lot of what you all are doing. and I'm slowly peeking my head around the corner to see what's going on Substack. Dipping my toe in, but not my whole foot.
Yeah, I love what's possible. What happened amazingly. This is actually pretty important. The file did not go. The file did not go to LinkedIn. Now imagine I'm promoting a very, very big show series, a series of 5 shows in November, which will go sort of hang over to December. And imagine if I plan this show for like a month ahead and I go to live on the day and it doesn't work. That's tragic. What are you going to do? And it's completely possible because we've been saying, and this show today didn't go to LinkedIn, so we can say whatever we want. This show has not gone to LinkedIn, and we're all saying how many times that's happened to us. It's happened to us more than once. It happens to us a bit more than regularly, and that's not a good thing. So what we're doing now is we're finding a solution, a plan B. And I upgraded to the pro version. I can actually have 10 people on the call if I want. And I'm so excited. Look at us. Look at us. We're so in there. I'm going to just rearrange these pictures so they look all nice and fluffy. So let's run the room on what we think we can do with this. This is the Substack version.
And
yeah.
Keith, real quick, because I just learned something new. When you restream on your cell phone when someone calls you, I got kicked out. So I didn't want to ignore a Miracle's invite. It was like terrible timing. I was like, no, it's going to think I don't want to. Yes, I would love to, America. I do accept your invite. And then just reach out to me so we can set that up. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome.
It's a very important point. And a lot of people do use their phone for everything. I don't understand that myself because I'm a boomer. But a lot of people join the show on the phone and then suddenly out of nowhere they get kicked out and they're coming back in later. So it's important to understand that some of this tech doesn't necessarily keep track of that. And we have to, especially if the guest is calling in on their phone. But let's give everyone a turn to think what we can do. Like we are right on the edge of the edge. Like I only got this feature 15 minutes ago or 15 minutes before going live. I didn't have it yesterday. So we are on the edge of the edge. So let's give everyone a turn to see what we can do with this. Lynn, welcome to the call. This is the Substack version. What do you think you can do with it? What are you currently doing with Substack, and do you think you might do more with it?
Well, for right now, I've just kind of been building my story, and trying to really put more of myself out there. And with Substack, because there is a lot of writing, and, I have been doing a little bit more of that, although this week I've kind of taken a little bit of a break, but I do plan on something really kind of fun because I've got a upcoming trip that I want to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do something with that. So that'll be fun. And I will.
The thing that's very important to remember if you're not using Substack yet is because it's so easy to use. It's purpose-built for creative invention. Like yesterday at 4:00 in the afternoon, I created a post saying, we just did an experiment. We haven't got the stats yet. We will get them. Click here and follow the guys, and I'll put a replay down the bottom. And overnight, it had 150 views. And it took me 10 minutes. I can plan a show a month ahead and get 50 views total. And we've been chatting about this, Zakia, haven't we? LinkedIn just does not make it easy for people to join, does it?
No, not anymore. It makes it difficult to join, and it doesn't seem to share it to people who, even when they RSVP to it. So I'm not sure. I think they're trying to do away with, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's a part of their strategy for creators to use it long term.
That's actually what I'm not scared of it. I'm just preparing for it. I wouldn't be surprised I wouldn't be totally surprised if I woke up one day and they said, guess what? It's not working. We don't like it. We just decided that, LinkedIn live events are not really a thing anymore, and we're not making any money out of that. And we just decided to turn it off because it's only one part of a big company. They probably don't care about it. Whereas with Substack or Restream, that's what they do. So it's very possible, it's probable that LinkedIn one day will just turn this feature off silently and no one will notice, except the people using it, which is probably very minimal. But you've got to be prepared. And I think we're doing some great work here.
So this had me thinking. I was in research mode. This had me, I'm going to say, somewhat upset. And I'm guessing it has a lot to do with the bandwidth for those of us who are going live. But my research has found that LinkedIn does send notifications when you go live to those who have registered for your event and a subset of followers who are likely to be interested. So the algorithm kind of picks out people who, I'm guessing, engage or meet some kind of algorithmic equation, and they get notified, which kind of supports, and this is now my proud moment because everyone keeps asking me, why the heck are you constantly removing and deleting followers and connections? Trying to remove the bottleneck so that what LinkedIn does in terms of who they decide to push my content to, I want to make sure that they are relevant people and that they are people who resonate with my message. Because if my message lands, or as I think it was Bez who shares the number, 2 to 5% of our creations, our posts, and our content gets pushed out. And depending on how that 2 to 5% react or engage, then it decides to open it up to a larger audience. If my 2 to 5% are dormant, inactive, then it's doing me a disservice. Hence why I do this annual exercise that sees a culling of the herd of about 1,000+ members.
I love it. I love what you're doing there. You are the only person I know that is consciously unfollowing people. I've never heard of this before, but when you talk about it, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it was actually the person who inspired me, Fox Tucker. He's out in the UK, and it was 3, maybe 4 years ago. He posted to his community. It's like, if you're reading this post, you've made it to the next stage. Well, it got my attention. What stage is that? And he broke down that he does this annually as well. And ever since then, I've been doing the same thing. So now there's 2 people. And if you're not following Fox Tucker, follow him, because he's got some brilliant content around LinkedIn, around that subject.
Wow. I'm just so astonished by what we're doing here. I've upgraded to the pro version, which means that I can now have up to 10 people on the call. Jim's on the call. He's a very seasoned live streamer. Mate, we got it working. How cool is this?
That's awesome. I'm glad to see you could do it. And of course, the good thing is the way that you're doing it with the audio, I don't think it's putting as big a demand on your system and probably your internet as it would maybe be otherwise. And when this is over, to Keith, as you probably saw from your experiment, this is going to save into your drafts of your publication, so you can get right into repurposing. So that's one of the things. And I think you're one of the first I've seen that's really wanting to do the audio piece from the perspective of, to me, this can, in a sense, replace what LinkedIn audio was allowing people to do before.
I agree. I mean, this is really interesting, Jim. This experiment didn't stick with LinkedIn today, like it should have, but it didn't. It's going to YouTube and to Substack. And this has changed the nature of the discussion because LinkedIn's not involved. We can say what we've been experiencing. And a lot of us have been experiencing this very subpar process of, will it work? Will it not work? Will they allow me to speak? Will they cut me off? Will I get banned? Will it work at all? Am I going to get a warning? And so suddenly there's this little overseer that says, well, look, you're probably being a little bit scammy there. I'm going to ban you for 4 days, and sorry. Well, what do you mean sorry? I got a big show planned. I've been promoting it for 4 weeks. Yeah, well, we just decided that you're too enthusiastic, and we're going to shut you down. This actually happened to me. So with Substack, I'm just hoping that there's a bit more free form, and if we get this working, we got 7 people on the call. Like, we could do this every day forever, and everyone wins. Everyone gets a turn. Everyone gets a chance to speak. We've got so many people on the call, we can't even fit them into the actual screen. This is how exciting it is. Just get 2 more and we'll have the Brady Bunch, right?
And I think it's great that that you're able to do this, because it kind of goes back to what you said. In fact, it's funny you mentioned, because I got an email from someone today. I think it was Tim Denning is his name, that he got banned from LinkedIn again. And I know some other people that, I guess you could say, maybe in LinkedIn's opinion, right? I'm not going to say it's in our opinion, are saying things quote unquote controversial, are getting banned on and off from LinkedIn. And I feel like LinkedIn has even gotten to the point, like, they want you to focus on doing short form video, and they want to be like everyone else. And you're creating your Substack. Keith Keller's Substack is what Keith Keller wants it to be, just like Americo's and Lynn's and Zakia's, and this is your Substack is what you want it to be.
Yeah.
And so if you decide later that you want to cross post whatever Keith puts here, you can put it on your publication, and you can write your own article to go along with it, or your own, restack it and tell people why they should, check these things out. So I think this is a great way to grow community and conversation. And I mean, it's kind of like Clubhouse, I guess. But that's I saw that part. Yeah, that's right. I have several publications that I'm involved in as well, and so you can hide some of them if you don't want people to know that they're on your list. But you can, so you can have different publications for different things.
Yeah, and I think we owe it to our community to have a reliable format. And the fact that this did not stick, and that's all I can say, it just didn't stick to LinkedIn. I better just check, because I might have been blown too hard and it's there to be seen. But it didn't work today. Now, I can't explain that. I can't explain why it didn't work. I pushed all the right buttons. I did all the right things. It's worked every other day. So what I'm really, really, really excited about with Substack is that it's free to use for creators who are starting. And then when you make money, they take 10%. I'm extremely excited about that model. It's extremely fair. If you're just writing for fun, you can write for fun, and it won't cost you anything, and it's a nice hobby. But if you decide, I'm doing some courses, or we're really into this, and if you want to, you can get more for $8 a month. You get this, and for $150 a year, you get this. And I'm going to do courses and events and all sorts of things, all going through Stripe, I think. And they just take 10%. It's an extremely fair model. It's not dissimilar to Buy Me a Coffee, which also takes 10%, I think. And that was a very fair model. Might be 4%. But the point is that they're setting up this tech, and it's all here for us. And we just log in, use it, have fun with it. If we want to turn on monetization, we can. And that'll help pay the internet bill, or put petrol in the car, or feed your babies. And it's just a great site for creators, because creators often get a a bit of a stiff deal on these other sites. Like LinkedIn does not care about creators. It's not designed for creators. If, for instance, I was a girl in my 30s who had just bought a brand new iPhone and happened to pass a mirror and had a nice top on, I'm sure that I would get 100 views a day and that I'd be able to post to LinkedIn every day forever. But I'm not a young girl in my 30s and I don't have an iPhone and I don't like mirrors. Well, that's not true. I do like mirrors, but I don't take photos of myself in front of them. So, there's certain things that get up the scale and other things that get avoided. And I've been banned a few times, like quite a few times. And I'm getting a bit sick of it, to be honest. Has anyone else been banned on LinkedIn or other sites? And has anyone else got that experience to talk about?
I was put in TikTok jail for violating their
because you didn't have your video
their
on.
go live. That's right. So
you didn't have an iPhone in front of a mirror.
That's, yeah, I guess you could say that. I added my TikTok at the time. I had the TikTok business account, and I added it as one of the channels that I was going to multi-stream to. But it was an audio event, and you can only stream on TikTok on camera.
Yeah,
you cannot do audio.
That's a very good example, isn't it?
And there was no warning. Hey, if we catch you doing this again, we're going to ban you. It was straight to jail for 30 days, and I had to reapply. And I figured, hey, well, I do a mix of both. I don't want to have to juggle. I haven't had good engagement. My community and our audience aren't showing up. So why am I going to sweat or lose sleep over this? So yeah, keep me in jail for as long as you'd like, because I'm not coming back.
Wow. So, Jim, do you know Amolia? She's actually going to start a podcast doing this. I want to give everyone a chance to talk and meet each other. We've got so many people on the call, I don't think we can feature everyone. So, Amolia, do you want to tell us what you do, how we can help you, and do you know everyone on the call? And if not, let's first of all, let's connect with each other first.
So I'm trying to see. I'm on my phone trying to look at the photos. 1 second. So I see Lynn. I think, yeah, Lynn. I'm new to Lynn, but I do know Zakia. Hi, Zakia. And then I can't see the rest. I see Mike, I see you, and I see a Miracle. Is it more people with us? Can you guys hear me?
I think that's everybody. Did you say Lynn?
Yes, she did. She did.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's everyone, Amalia.
Okay, perfect. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Lynn. I think for me to really speak with you, I'm trying to doing this on your phone, I can say is terrible. I'm so used to my double monitors, my big screen where I can see.
Yeah.
It's very hard seeing you guys' names and things like that, but I'm happy to be here. So Keith, to answer your question, I am excited because I'm launching my new Substack article, Go Live with Your Voice. And of course, I'll be educating, doing behind the scene tips and just my journey of audio only live streaming, which we're doing right now. So this is exciting.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. We want everyone to meet each other, get a bit of a chance to talk. Zakia, do you know everyone? Do you know everyone on the call? Do you want to tell us what you're doing? And you've got a pretty interesting story from the Periscope days. You know very well what it's like to have a plan B, or more importantly, not to. You want to tell that story?
Oh, yeah. So I had started by live streaming with video on Periscope back in 2015. And if any of you were around for the Periscope days, I had one audience of over 75,000 followers, which I lost completely overnight when they shut that platform down. The only contacts that I had were those who had actually placed orders or enrolled in an online class, which was much smaller than the 75,000. So I only had about 2,500 email addresses. This was before I knew anything about being on the internet, running a business. I just was collecting emails from those people who placed orders. So ever since then, it has been my mission to make sure that anybody I come in contact with who is not just a lead, but somebody who's interested, it is baked in for me to capture those email addresses. Um, I am very new to Substack, and one thing that has me really, really excited about it is the fact that you get those email addresses of the people who subscribe to you, which I think is brilliant. No other social media platform that I'm aware of does that. So that is what I'm really interested in. And the two businesses that I'm running right now are Live Soap School, which is an online training academy for soap makers. And then I also run Business Tech Lab, where I do coaching and consulting for small business owners in the city of Philadelphia on how to grow their business online with the systems and technology for that. And I'm spending a lot of time in Google AI Studio building out the app that I wish I had when I started making soap.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's infused with AI. So I'm very happy to be here and meet everyone. The only one I don't know is Lynn.
Okay. Well, I'll send you Lynn's email in a minute. Lynn, that's a very good chance to talk about what you do. I know Substack itself is quite new to you, but tell us what you're doing. You've got a very cool business model, and everyone needs a holiday. So tell us how you're using these tech support systems to promote your business.
Yeah, hi, thank you. And nice to meet you too, as well, Zakia, Amalia, Ken. I haven't met you officially, but I've seen you around. So, but yes, for me with Substack, it's a little bit different, like we talked about, because originally it was for writers and journalists. And so there's a lot of really good writers on this platform, but they are branching out, and which is great because doing live video we know that is a great way to connect with people in your community. And so that's something that I do want to do more of, and possibly do and I haven't decided if I want to do like a once a week, once a month, or exactly what type of podcast thing I want to do. But I do know that I am going to be putting out some content from vacations, and so that I can bring that experience to everyone. So they might see, okay, this is somewhere I'd like to visit, or a cruise I might like to go on. And I do specialize in cruise and river cruise, which I love. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And these platforms are, and especially Substack, I think is so easy to use. So I really do like Substack.
I love what you're saying here, because and I'll throw to Americo on this. Americo is going to pick up on my love of radio and the communal idea. He's actually setting up a community where people can, before going live, muck around and get used to it, and build a community of like-minded souls that say, look, we're all trying this. We don't know what's going on, but we'll help you. And so, do you want to talk about this? I'm going to bring up your graphic in a minute. It's a bloody good idea. Tell me how you're doing that, and how can people join it?
All right, so hold on for a second before I jump into that, because as I'm sitting here listening, I want to share an update with the community, because this is happening in real time. So I'm looking at my Substack feed, and the activity bell came on with a notification, and there are 2 non-community members who are going live right now. So the algorithm now recognizes that, hey, Americo goes live. Live is a thing for this creator. They're now suggesting other live events for me to attend.
Very good. So that they're very actively trying to get you to engage in Substack with the interests that you have. Obviously, there's an algorithm there saying, hey, you do live streams, you might be interested in this live stream. They're giving you their suggestion, aren't they?
that is amazing. And probably an even better way to continue to build and grow your community with like-minded professionals.
Yep. We for a long time, me for a very long time, didn't want to do Substack because I don't like to read. There was nothing for me to do there, and I certainly wasn't going to write anything. So, but now if we can live stream, and I want to know what other people are doing. If other people are live streaming, I want to go and have a look at that.
And that is a great segue for the community that I'm building. I want to help and I want to create a safe environment where people for, a relatively or nominal fee can get the coaching, can get the support, and can get the confidence that they aspire to get to hit that go live button. And this week alone, I've had just a tremendous amount of people recognizing that some of what I've been sharing from the moment, like I'll use Jim's guest appearance last week, a couple of other posts, people are really leaning into this and saying, well, I had no idea. This is a great idea. How can I learn more? And, the more that came in and the more I started to see that the opportunity exists, like this isn't going, and the objective isn't to get rich off of people. It's an opportunity to just provide a safe environment, provide some coaching designed for professionals who want to be seen, heard, and remembered, but don't know where to begin. And
there's a cool video which is circulating on YouTube Shorts about. I know people like this, and you may even be one of them, that says, "Oh, look, I'm not going live until you can guarantee me that nothing will go wrong." Well, the live streaming's not for you because things go wrong. But that's okay because that's why we love them. We love them because things can go wrong. And it's how you handle them, which we call ad-libbing, that makes you special. Okay, it's real. Like, that's a real thing. There's a cockatoo in the backyard and you can hear it. Yeah, good on you. There isn't, but there is, we had, things happen. Someone mows the lawn, a truck hits the pole, you lose power. I've already lost the internet 3 times in the last half hour. Things happen live, but I'm here. I'm right here, right now. I'm real, right? And I think there's a strong need for this. Like, there's a strong desire for this. And if you're a little bit nervous about going live, we get it. We've all been there. And but it's not impossible. So I'm extremely excited about this community idea for you. I'm extremely excited about that, and I'm going to give it my full attention. How can people take part if they want to take part?
So I thought I was going to have time to reach out to my web development team, and I've already purchased the 2 URLs, be seen, be heard, be remembered.com and just seen, heard, and remember.com. And I wanted to have that redirected to a landing page. So stay tuned. Great question. I'll have that up and running shortly.
That's all right. We're right on the cutting edge of the cutting edge. Like, we're so in ideation mode that we haven't got all the bits ready, and that's okay. We call this building.
That's okay. We're building in real time.
Yep. We're building in public. Jim, can you tell us a bit about how you do? You've got so many cool things doing. Tell us what you do and how this all fits in with what we're talking about today.
Well, I think for me, originally I was on Substack. I was actually just writing. And so my original publication was called Jim's Writing Journey. And it was just to share, things to write, because I think that was part of my struggle is getting comfortable with writing. And then when I saw them release live streaming, I was like, oh, this is perfect. And so I'm looking at it as a way to repurpose your video content in a way that the other platforms don't really fit well because and was interesting because I saw an article today. Well, I don't know if it was an article, but it was a post. There's some concern potentially in the YouTube community that as YouTube starts to crank up the proverbial AI machine and they're basically training on everyone's YouTube videos that they won't have a need for real people. And
yeah.
so when you look at Substack, to me, Substack is like, I don't know if I'd call it the Wild West, but it's kind of like the new frontier where people are people. And you're not seeing, I mean, sure, there's people writing about AI, but I think um, things like this, right? This is all of us having a conversation, and it's not being censored by algorithms. And I think, like Zakia said, I think the other thing that really caught my attention was the ability to build my email list. And so that's been really big for me. I mean, my email list on Substacks has already outgrown the one that I had created outside of Substack, um, with really not the same amount of effort that it required me to grow the other one. I'm not worrying about, oh, I got to create landing pages and that. It's like if people like what they're seeing on the platform, they'll subscribe to you. Now you have their email. Now you can even and following other people, learning these things you can do with the platform, like taking a video, uploading it to drafts, getting a transcript, and then allowing people to have that choice. To your point, Keith, like, I really don't like reading, but if I can watch the video or listen to what all this writing was about, that's your style. But what I tend to find on these other platforms, or when I talk to people about other platforms, like, whether it's YouTube or even a podcast, they don't read the show notes. They don't read the description on YouTube videos. And of course, with LinkedIn, right, wrong, or indifferent, LinkedIn has a little bit of a Facebook video problem in that once that video is over, there's not an easy way to organize things for
Oh,
you as
it's
the
very hard to find. Isn't it hard to find?
Yeah.
It's very hard to find LinkedIn videos. I mean, they basically exist sequentially, and there's
Right.
no way to search for them.
I mean, sure, you can quote unquote pin it as featured, but that means that the person coming to your profile has to say, oh, I need to look at Keith's featured post to find his latest thing. And do people really spend the time? I don't think they do. I've experimented. I don't know about you, Americo. I've experimented with LinkedIn newsletters. I sometimes take the same content I'm putting on Substack, I repurpose it as a LinkedIn newsletter, but I'm not getting the same engagement and open rates that I am on Substack. And so it's not saying I'm not going to stop using LinkedIn, but I just feel like this is becoming my number one place to spend my time, because I like, I'm an old Twitter guy, and I like notes because it reminds me of old Twitter, not the current state of Twitter.
I think the whole interface of Substack is very easy to use and fun. It's what Twitter was. It's Tumblr meets Twitter. It's fun. It's fast. It's funky. People are using it. It's enjoyable to use. It's easy to get your thoughts out, and people like that. And if no one was reading it, then you'd stop doing it. But they are reading them. Like yesterday's, I'm doing this little experiment that I've done 22 posts so far, and I'm creating a top 10. And the post yesterday shot into number 5 with a bullet. And I'm sort of taking the old music analogy that I've got these little snippets, and some shows stick, and some shows don't. That reminds me of a racy song from 1973. So some content sticks, do. Some content don't, do. Some content will be naughty and some others won't. You probably don't remember that song, but so I can play this musical analogy, and the show yesterday shot into number 5 with a bullet. And our number one song, our number one piece of content is the experiment with the Shaw 58. So I get a very strong sense of what's working. I can make it fun. I can keep my audience informed. They can vote by viewing it. And we get very robust stats, don't we, Americo? It's pretty funky. Have you been tracking the stats?
So I have been tracking the stats. The one thing that Substack doesn't do, it doesn't split the analytics from live attendees to replays, where LinkedIn does give you how many people showed up live,
I get that.
and what was the peak viewership during the event. So you got to take a snapshot at the end of your event when your event goes into drafts, and just benchmark. All right, everything up until here. Like yesterday, we had 5 people in our impromptu test. 5 people showed up live. So everything else is replay activity.
Yeah.
So you kind of need to manually juggle those numbers around. But listen, it is right now. I'm toying around with the SEO keywords just to see what works, what resonates. I'm tweaking how I'm writing to see if I can capture some of those keywords or tie in to see if it changes anything. I'm at a good place. I don't think I'm seeing the readership that you're seeing. I think it's safe to say that. But my community's probably made up of a mix of mutual connections and connections. So each community is going to be different, and as it grows and evolves, so will the engagement. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm still happy to say that I've seen more progress in a handful of weeks that I've been on Substack than a year of being on Facebook and other platforms that
Imagine if this had have happened in January of this year, like LinkedIn audio events go away and we just simply change to Substack. We're in a 10-month lag. We tried to get LinkedIn live events to work. We tried really hard, but they're bloody horrible. And I can say that because we're not taking this to LinkedIn now. But and I might get banned. Look, you might find that I can't do shows at all. But that's the thing. I can't say what I think because I might get banned. I mean,
But Keith, I think here's another interesting perspective when I look at Substack, say, versus LinkedIn, is as much as we all like LinkedIn or would like to think we like LinkedIn, the reality is there's probably, I want to say it's probably 95% of people don't even post on LinkedIn. They're not really out there frequently, where I feel like Substack is the opposite. Sure, not everybody has a publication, but people are starting to dip their toes. They're kind of lurking because of the thing like Notes, because it is like Twitter. I've restacked this, so at some point, some of my community might see this, and something that maybe you want to experiment with at some point, since you're doing some of this experimentation, is so if you go live through the Substack app, don't even use Restream. If your phone will give you the juice for that, you can invite other people on Substack to join with their Substacks. So now it's not just live on Keith's Substack. Now it's almost like we're live on each other's Substack at the same time. And so now it becomes like, like if you, me, and Americo all joined through our phone app, and you can turn the camera off, right? So it's just like we're doing now. It's an audio only experience. I don't know how many people you could invite into it. I mean, it might get a little crazy because you're also all on the phone, but you'll see people's comments, and I think you can hit the little heart button on there. So that would be interesting, especially from the perspective of, if you want to call it a clubhouse like live stream environment.
I do
on
have
the
a tablet,
platform.
so it'd probably work on the tablet.
It would, because you just have to use the app. That's the only if you want to call it caveat. And so I think I shared with you the other day the well, not only did I do a YouTube video, but I did an article about how to use the app to go live. And one thing I do like about the app, especially if and this might work out really well for like Lynn if she wants to do some video while
Mhm.
traveling, is it'll let you switch the camera from front to back.
Oh,
So
very good.
she could be, live on her Substack and it's like, hey, I want to show you what this looks like. And then the beauty is when you're all done, it goes to your draft. So you could say, you know what? I was just sharing the moment. I'm not doing anything with this. It was only there for the people that caught me live. Or you repurpose it and you
Yep.
make a clip and you share it as a note or a post or whatever. Or you can even put it on other platforms. And I think to your point earlier about this being a free platform for creators, and the guys that I follow, the category pirates, you know Dick, Christopher Lockhead, they all talk about this is the first real direct to creator platform because of the email, because of the, you want to call it the direct messaging. Even when you start to follow each other, your audience can directly connect with you one on one. Even with a follow, if someone follows you, you can start talking back and forth. It's not like, oh, I got a friend request Americo and hope he accepts my request in order for us to have a conversation. And it's like, other than I think we get stuck in the things we did before, i.e. Facebook, whatever, there's a part of me that I'm like, why am I even on Facebook anymore? What, I think like, America, why be on TikTok? I mean, they're always, changing the algorithms and, Keith, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm not a, you know, 20, 30-year-old, female that people want to, that they want to promote my videos for. And so that's where I think this becomes more about the niche. I think Lynn has got a great opportunity with the travel niche. And I think even with what Zakia is doing, and right as she decides, you know what, I want to start another publication that has nothing to do with travel, she can do that, and that audience will be interested in that. And I think that's where it's so hard on these other platforms. You know, with YouTube, if you start talking about, something other than live streaming, then YouTube says, well, I don't really know what this channel is about. I'm not sure how to serve it up. Where here it's like, okay, this publication is about X. This publication is about Y, and that's who it shows it to.
I love it. I love it because we are multidimensional. Lynn loves travel, but she might also like cooking, or she might also have a dog, or she might also like writing, or do poetry, or play guitar. And that could be a different angle. We are multidimensional people. And I think that is very true that we possibly would have multiple Substacks. And they're all free until we start making money, and that's the thing I love about it. If you just want to do it as a hobby, that's cool too. It's very cool. It's just cool. So we've been going about, I don't know, let me just see, an hour and a half, just having a bit of a chat. I know it's getting late there. I might give everyone a chance to wrap up, and then we can sort of keep moving it. We can have 10 people on the stage, but it might be just a chance to wrap up. I want to see what happens with this. You go first, Jim. I wanted to let you know that your buddy who did a really cool video on the Zoom P2 was very inspirational, and I have one now, a Zoom P2, so you can let him know that his videos do work, and that we do pay attention, because you've got an Amazon channel, haven't you?
Yes, we do, and we're excited. I can't talk about it until January 5th, but Shore is giving us a new item that I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy as creators, and and I'm going to just keep experimenting with some stuff. I mean, I think I've told you, Keith, about Shure's got their Motive Mix
Yeah, they're
software that will
motive.
allow you to bring in multiple microphones into your computer. And so there's a lot of exciting things that I think will help us as Substack creators do even more and get more
Yeah.
creative, and especially like with what the things Americo is doing, to help people get over the excuse for why not to go live.
Yeah. And is it Deal Casters? Is that your YouTube channel?
Yes, and it's also a Substack.
Okay. So Deal, let me just bring that back.
Dealcasters, yeah.
That's very interesting. That's your brand, Deal Casters. Very
Yeah.
interesting. Why is that not working?
Don't fear the
Get it
gear.
to move. Okay. Look, that's very, very cool. Deal Casters is Jim's brand, and he's having a lot of fun with that. America, why don't we talk about this community thing? I think there's a big need for people to just have their hand held for a couple of times. No one, very few people are brave enough to just go live and work it out on air. That's an extreme version of craziness that maybe I'm the only person doing it. But tell us what this community is about and how people can join, and then I'll run the room with everyone else and see if everyone else can get a turn to tell their story.
So the community today, I had dropped my first lead magnet that inquiring minds might want to sign up for. The community, very likely, haven't decided yet if whether or not I want to host it here or if I want to host it in school. My heart says go with school because it probably has more functionality if I'm thinking of scaling, and more versatility, but that's still up in the air. In terms of what it's going to include, listen, it's going to include group sessions, Q&As, guest speakers, exclusive live stream events, and an opportunity for people to test things out in a safe environment, record. Before you go live, you can complete simulations of what it's like to go live and bring it back to a classroom environment and help each other out, point out what went well and what needs to change or be done differently to get them to where they want to be. But the objective is to start where you're at. I'm not building a community that helps people get comfortable for that perfect moment. We're pulling the rug from under everyone and just helping them feel comfortable to start where they are.
And one of the things that we talk about a lot on this show is a thing called pod guesting. You can get your mojo by going on other people's shows and just sort of saying, "Hey, what do I sound like? I've got my style going." Because pushing the button and going live is a lot harder, like 10 times harder than actually going on someone else's show. Because you turn up, you do a sound check, and you're on. Hey, what are you ready? Yep, let's go. Nothing to do. Just turn up and talk. It's the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing. Whereas if you run your own show, okay, I've got to promote it. I've got to do all the graphics. What does this button do? So we're going to talk a lot about this over the next few weeks. Zakia, can you tell us what you've been doing and what we can expect from you in the next couple of weeks? I know you're sort of just jumping back into it from a while ago, but tell us what we're doing and what we can do for you.
Nothing. What I'm doing right now is working in Google AI Studio to build an app for handcrafted makers that takes them from ordering their ingredients all the way down to their money and their metrics. So it's completely built. It's going to be a subscription for those that are in my live soap school community. But I've really just been exploring the tool to understand how it works. But it's really exciting. And I think for me, I'm really glad to be jumping into this Substack part because I have so much to share over these last 3 months and that health journey I was on and the eye opener that it created. But really excited to be back.
That is so cool. And Lynn, let's wrap up with what you're doing, how can people find you? What's your website, and what can we expect in the next few weeks from you?
So I'll be working on some live Q&A, and I'm not, and it will be soon actually on that, but I'll do that before I go on my next trip, which I'm looking forward to. And thank you, Jim, for that. I didn't really realize you could have a Substack go live. I didn't even think of that. I knew I was going to use my phone for this trip to record it, just because as far as packing, it's just easier to take your phone and record when you're traveling. But anyway, yeah. So I will be doing some live Q&A, and I'll talk about all things travel, and that should be coming up really soon. And you can follow me on, of course, here on Substack, LinkedIn, and csandandfun.com
Yeah,
is
that's a cool
my
website. csandandfun.com.
yeah.
Well, there's nothing more. It's sea, sand, and fun. It's all covered.
Yeah.
The ideal holiday, all in one spot. So, what I might do is I might wrap up, play a bit of music, and then we'll end it. This gives everyone a chance, because it's getting late there, to get a good sleep and unwind. And then I'll go and have a look at what this creates for me, because this is the first time I'm doing it. And I'll be doing more experiments now that I've got it to work. So I'll play a little bit of theme music. I'll wrap it up, and then I'll see you on the other side with maybe a Substack post in an hour or so.